Yeah, someone the other day was asking me about magic and comedy, magic and satire. Well, it was Crowley himself which said that the problem with Western magic and Western tradition is the lack of humor. Uh, and this was bang on. This was a bang on statement. In fact, a lot of Crowley's writings are absolutely hilarious. He had a great sense of humor. And what do we mean about using magic and comedy together? Well, anyone, you know me, I'm always cracking jokes, I'm always having a laugh and taking the piss, and I'm always having a good time. And that, believe it or not, is more powerful for my magical workings than dressing up like a character and being all serious and pretentious with my hand up my arse and thinking I'm so important. Uh, now, so that is actually, it makes you more powerful than that, because I'll tell you why. Magic is, it's really about science, okay? It's really about science more than anything else. And he used this idea of an artistic delivery method in order to change the physiology and neurology, cognition, consciousness of people, or yourself or others. And that allows you to override their, shall we say, cognitive pre assumptions about the world themselves and life. If you can make someone laugh, you've broken down a tremendous psychic barrier into them. There's nothing like it. Being funny and being good at comedy is a gift, but it's also something you can work on. So this is the art part. Not everyone's good at it. This is why memes have been so powerful. And I had to laugh. I was on a Chaos Magic Facebook group a while back, and they actually banned memes because memes made people sad. Now, the ultimate expression of Chaos Magic today has been memes. But that's the kind of cancer of the SJW that has infected everything. Now, I'll give you an example. You'll always see me, or often see me, telling jokes on social media in real life. It's not always something that's you're able to see. Sometimes it's more of a vague joke or something like that. But it's very important to me because it creates a sense where I'm relaxed and other people are relaxed. But when people are relaxed and you make people laugh, you have an element of stewardship over their consciousness. And this goes back to the charisma thing I was talking about a while back. And this isn't to control them, to make your points of view and your desires come into manifestation. You have women saying that men that make them laugh, they find them sexy or whatever. And yeah, that's actually 100% true. And the reason for that is Western women have been overcomplicated by things like rivalries and the necessities to find perfect relationships. This kind of thing. A man who makes them laugh takes them away from their Western programming, female programming, and puts them into a world where things don't matter anymore. And suddenly they're liberated. For a split moment, they're liberated from all this bullshit they've been raised with. And another thing too is, you make a man laugh, it can save your life. It definitely can. Comedy has often, like, the last one to die in a court is always the jester. The last card put into the deck is always the joker. And while the king and the queen and dukes, bishops and cardinals, the joker walked in, or walked out of the castle. We saw that in Edgar Allan Poe's Master of the Red Death. We saw that in two of the Red Jesters. They survive at the end, and everyone else dies. And they get their revenge on Prospero and his maggots. Now, in terms of satire, it's a complicated one. Like, if you want to take someone down, and you make fun of them, but through a funny cartoon or an insulting cartoon, or say things to joke about them or slag them off directly, mentioning their names, you actually enhance their power. This is why with all the shit Trump gets of all these assholes that are jealous of him and so on, every time they hate on him, they increase his charisma. That's why when he, takes a break from Twitter and comes back, it's like the second coming of Jesus Christ. His charisma continues to grow. And, that's why nobody wants to be around somebody who's like that. Who's always constantly attacks someone directly or others directly. It's not healthy for human beings. It comes from an evolutionary process because say you have these maggots who make these YouTube channels where they attack people, right? No sane person wants to be around that because that comes from an evolutionary desire to survive. And this evolutionary desire to survive recognizes this individual that's doing that would be dangerous to the tribe. So at a subconscious level, you ignore them because they can't be trusted. And that's what that says, because if they attack someone else, they'll attack me. And that's why you stay away from all those kind of people like that. Because they're very disturbed and sick people, but they're also served to create the integration of the tribe. Because the tribal function will recognize a parasite or an unstable element towards tribal security within them. That's why they killed all these old bags who, most of the witches who went to the burning and hanging were not they weren't done for witchcraft. They were done spreading gossip around town. And everyone was glad to see the end of them. They weren't wise healers. None of them were. Almost none of them were. They were these malicious gossips that spread absolute horror by telling all kinds of horrible lies around their community. They had to die because they were actually destroying the integration of the tribe. A lot of that went on. And that's what the Pendle witches is really all about. They weren't these wise women healer witches. They were like local monsters, that's what they were. Local harridans, beasts. And a lot of people in the magic community look upon this like, these Christians burning these witches. But no, they're trying to integrate the tribe better. And they couldn't do that with these gossipers running around making a fool of everyone. Not in a right way, at least. That's what a lot of it was. And so the way to really do this satire in a magical sense is to create an avatar of the person you're making fun of. Wait, there's two reasons for this. It's almost like an example would be a voodoo doll. Voodoo doll does not look exactly like the person you're trying to hex. So you create an approximate assimilation, taking basically a famous character and making that famous character an avatar substitute for the one you're trying to attack, because they're already a famous cartoon or a famous public or a character in a film. You've already got that emotional charge connected with inside that character, and so they're already known, especially if they're a little bit absurd, a little bit of the absurdity about it. You've already got that charge anyway. So what you're doing is you're piggyback riding on that charge. So if you want to say, compare someone you don't like, or it's giving you shit to say, oh man, I got off track. Say if you want to get Homer Simpson, or she looks a bit like Nora Batty or something like that. You supplement their real personality with that, and you make that the object of ridicule because you're piggyback riding on the charge created around that. So you're not having to work from scratch. So it's almost like having an accelerant to help you burn a fire or start to burn a fire. Of course, it won't work with me if you do it to me now, because, well, I'm already in the system more or less, and I've made protection for it. You had no fucking chance with me, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to kill me or something like that. All you're doing is feeding my charisma. I'm just too fucking good for this. Yeah, this game, I've been playing it for so long, yeah. That's basically it. Yeah, if you have a grievance with someone, the best thing in the world is to just fucking forget about them and walk off. But if this grievance has not been properly addressed, and you're in your right to do this, satire and mockery is the best way of doing it. And again, you can't just say, oh, he's a big fatty pants. That's what most of it's like. You have to be clever. And you see, this is why the best comedy originates from the most intelligent minds, because what happens is, What you're doing when you create a farcical or satirical version of reality is you're creating a supplemental reality that acts as some kind of overcoating, but it's also integrated into present reality. And you're in the safety zone, really, because you're outside controlling this reality. You're controlling this satirical thing. But again, the thing is, this is why politicians are never bothered by things like Spitting Image or Saturday Night Live and all these other horrible and stupid comedians making fun of them, because they're feeding their charisma. You understand? Charisma is being fed. It doesn't matter if you hate them, if you love them. The fact that you're mentioning their name and putting your energetic force into them, you actually fed them. But if you take it and you create a avatar of them, and then put the ridicule towards that, you're not feeding them any charisma, but you are damaging them because they're actually seeing themselves. And it's unwinding them on the subconscious level. Also, it's like a hex that doesn't come back at you because you haven't hexed the person through magic directly. You hex the avatar of them. And the avatar of them, if there's any blowback, it doesn't go near you. And you're also helping the charisma of the famous star or cartoon or image or whatever you're using, like, to promote it. And that's what happened with the whole Pepe the Frog thing. People use that so much that its energetic force got so huge, people knew it from everywhere. And you provide the avatar of function. And oh my god, you could not underestimate the power of comedy and satire and magic. It's enormous. And it's one of the reasons most magic today doesn't work, is because they don't use comedy. They don't use it. If you can't be... They use it all wrong. They use it ineffectively. But to wit, having a sense of, wit and comedy and having wits intelligent, the two go hand in hand. And it's a lethal funky combination, I can tell you. And that's how you do it. You know the whole thing with the left cat meme? The whole reason the left cat meme is because they're in a victim mindset. And that's another reason for the avatar thing too as well. Suppose there's a guy out there called Billy, I don't know, Billy McGinty. And I'm all over the internet going, I hate Billy McGinty, I hate Billy McGinty. First of all I'm doing is feeding Billy McGinty's charisma. And then I'm draining my own psychic power to feed that. That doesn't come free. It's always an exchange of energy. And thirdly, it's taken magical efforts, energetic requirements I need for that, and transferring it to someone else. The better thing to do is to hold on to that for yourself by creating the avatar. And you've not done that. And it's become very funny. It's become funny for you because you're no longer in a state of victimhood. And when you're in a state of victimhood, you can't be funny. And when you're in the state of fighting back, you can be funny. You can be very funny. But victimhood, that's why the left can't meme. There's always this sense of victim, victim, victim. You can't be humorous when you're a victim. No, so this stuff is so important. It's beyond people think. People read these grimoires and ancient magical texts. And they won't get near shit. They won't do shit. Whether some guy can make a cutting snide remark and shut down an empire. It really can be done like that. And that's why they live in terror of things like Trump's tweets. Because they're so fucking funny. And they know they're powerless against them. And it's something that you should always remember, that real good comedy will never ever let you down. And real good satire, it's never direct. It plays on archetypes and images and avatars. And that's how you really do it. And if you hate a politician or an individual, attacking them online by name, making videos about them online by name, all you're doing is feeding their fucking charisma. And all you're doing is dying. See you later.